are a lot of things that scare me in this world. Sharks, oceans, small spaces, being trapped, buried alive, spiders, wasps, babies. I'm pretty afraid of a lot of things, but nothing scares me as much as the hypothetical collapse of the entire world's economy based on the popularization of at-home 3D printing. That's kind of a lie. Sharks are really scary. But stick with me here. I don't know if you've heard about 3D printers. They're printers that can print objects in 3 dimensions. Basically, it's some sort of material that can be held together using different things, and then the little printing nozzle prints it in layers and like sticks the particles together somehow. I don't know, it's like with a liquidy material or with heat. It doesn't really matter how it happens, it just matters that it's happening. Really cool things can happen if this is a thing to the right people. They can take a 3D printer into space and then just like print tools, and they won't have to account for fuel to bring those. There's work being done to actually print tissue, like organ tissue, and so they're thinking that they may be able to print human hearts and like print organs, which is amazing. So doctors should get on this because it is the future. There are a lot of really awesome uses for this in the scientific and medical world, and that's why 3D printing should continue to be like improved upon and should become a thing. But what scares me is if 3D printing goes into everyone's home. First, it's gonna just be a little novelty thing, but I predict that at some point, everyone's going to be able to have a commercially available 3D printer in their home. This is scary because if the technology improves that you can print things in different kinds of materials, then you can print, theoretically, anything. You could print the couch I'm sitting on. If they come up with edible material to print things in, food. You can print any food. You could print furniture. You can print all of the goods. The only thing you'd have to pay for if this happens is your initial 3D printer, the printing material, and then like services. You can't like print someone to clean your house. You'd have to hire a maid. But that's the only thing that's excluded from this if it goes that far. That's terrifying. That's a complete overhaul of the entire way our economy works. The entire world's economy is based off of there being certain people who make certain things that you have to buy from them. If it goes into just having to buy these few things and then you can assemble it with no work on your part, that's mind-blowing and really scary. I also predict if this were to become a thing that online there'd be some sort of database that would have the patterns to print these different things. And so instead of having to like design your own table, you could go on some sort of website that was like a furniture website, and then you would buy the pattern to print a certain looking table. But this is still really weird that it's not dealing with physical goods, it's dealing with internet content. Obviously, this is an extreme scenario. This probably isn't going to happen. We live in a pretty money-driven world, one where huge corporations that sell tangible objects probably are not going to let this happen. But just think if it does. If the 3D printer market becomes so big and so good that everyone has it in their homes. That's scary. It may not be as scary as sharks or spiders or deep water, but it's pretty scary. That's all I have to say for this week. I'm Gabby Kriebel. I received only suggestions from Mr. Bradley for what to call this show. He suggests, playing off the pun, that my name is also an adjective and can be changed to a verb. That means talking, that's what I'm doing here. It's a pretty clever thing. Gabbing Gabby, gabbing with Gabby, Gabby Gabby, Gabby squared. That implies that there's a second Gabby, but really it's adjective, my name, Gabby squared. It's a pun rife with possibilities, ones that I will continue to ruminate on, and I will see you in some time in the future.